Hey there gamers, have you watched the games on E3? I know you have guys, and you are excited for those releases on the market, as am I. On this episode, let's talk about those games that we, content creators, can make a ton of content from. But before we do this guys, you know what to do? Like, subscribe, and gong that bell. Hey there gamers, my name is Nolan and welcome to MGN. On today's episode, we will be talking about the games on E3. On that event of E3, there's a lot of news and unique releases from different studios, and it's really amazing. There's a game for everyone. If you like RPG games, Square Enix has a few for you. If you want to have like competitive games, Ubisoft can help you out with that. And also, if you want to flex those strategy muscles up in your head, Microsoft has you covered. But we're not gonna be listing down all of the games that we have seen on E3, but today I will be giving you my top picks on the games that we, content creators, can do a lot of content from. So guys, enough of the chit chat, games on cue. Number one top content that we, content creators, can make a lot of content is the Blair Witch. This is one of the games I'm really looking forward to. The Blair Witch game takes inspiration from the film The Blair Witch Project. The movie goes, friends camping out in the woods to film a documentary about the Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project that the movie talks about is a string of murders happening in the local vicinity. The locals in the area foretells a harrowing story that leads our protagonists in the forest. The forest turns into a horrible experience for the heroes as they hear unearthly noises and each and every one of them starts to disappear. The game takes inspiration from this movie in terms of horror, and it really makes you feel that you are in the game because of the first-person aspect. Kind of like the Outcast games, it seems you will be holding a camera and from there, you will see premonitions of monsters and other creepy crawlers. For the premise of the game, you are there to investigate a murder. But it seems it's not your usual murder case, and on this case, the supernatural has a hand on your investigation. It is up to you to brave through the encounter and uncover the mystery of the case. As a content creator, you have a plethora of things you can do to make content on this game. Such are the following. Number one is reaction videos. People love seeing people's reactions when they get spooked. Feels as if you are there with them when they watch a very scary game. Also, some of your reactions are very priceless. Number two is walkthrough videos. Walkthrough lets you help your audience experience the whole game with you as you record yourself playing the game. Guides are videos that you can do to help people get through rough patches, or you can teach your audience the patterns of monsters and the other elements of the game. Number four is lore creation. Remember, there's a lot of writing and other supplemental articles that will help you get a better understanding of the world you are in. Number two is Final Fantasy VII Remake. So Final Fantasy has been on my list ever since the first trailer. This game has been the cover game that puts Square Enix in the map. Now, they will remake their most successful game, and I like it. So as a remake, you will dive down the events of the former game and relive the story from before. Are you ready to relive those sad events and as well as those kinda silly ones? Are you ready to fight Sephiroth and Bahamut or other OP characters? But before, the combat was turn-based. Now, it's like Kingdom Hearts where you hack and slash at people or machines. So as content creators, what can you do to make content on this game? Number one, walkthroughs. Okay guys, walkthroughs are kind of like the staple kind of content that you can do for any game that you want to cover. Number two content that you can make on this game is guides. From the E3 conference, it is said that there will be skill trees with each character. With that being said, there will be a ton of players that will look for guides that will help them get the optimum build for their characters. Or maybe a guide on how they can fight a boss battle, or how to get a specific item or material. There's a lot you can do when you make guide videos on this game. Number three kind of content is speedruns. I challenge you guys to make this kind of video because it would be really interesting to see speedruns on a game. It's one of the things people want to see because they think it will not be possible to beat the game in just one sitting. Have you ever tried beating a 72-hour game and cram it into just 2 to 3 hours? That's really hard actually, but if you pull it off, that is very amazing. Number four is critique, review, and compare. You can critique the game in a sense that what are the things you think can help the game improve, what the game was lacking, and what not. You can do a side-by-side comparison as well on the two games, the former and the latest one. That would be an interesting video. Number three and the most excited game that I am is Avengers. Avengers is actually in my top list. I'm really excited for this game because you get to play as your favorite character in all their glory. I'll be spamming Iron Man and Thor non-stop. But moving on, the game starts on A-Day or Avengers Day that commemorates the valiant Avengers and the things they have done to protect the world. The current Avengers are comprised of Black Widow, Thor, Iron Man, Bruce Banner, or aka the Hulk, and Captain America. So the story goes, an explosion happened in the Golden Gate Bridge or San Francisco Bridge, and from there, they duke it out with the enemies, but it was all a dupe. They were targeting the new helicarrier the Avengers have because of the new tech powering the hovercraft. Now that we're all caught up on the premise of the game, what content can we do about this game? Well, let me give you a few tips. Number one is, you guessed it, guide. There's a ton of content you can do here because in the E3 convention, the game will have a skill tree for all the characters, meaning you can make guides on how to build your characters. There's a lot of topics you can cover, like for example, you can make a build out of Iron Man focusing on support roles. There's a lot of content you can make if the skill tree is very expansive as it may seem. Number two content that you can make on this game is review kind of content. You review the game in its entirety, review the patches, review the enemies, and a lot more. Number three kind of content, and the content that I think will fly, is the hero spotlight content. Much like the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, you can do this as well on this game, as there will be a lot of characters that will be added hopefully in the future. You can make a video talking about the characters and the like. Number 4 is Roller's Champion. Roller's Champion is like the next Rocket League game. It pits you with other characters and you will vie for supremacy by scoring in one of the rings. You shoot the ball through the ring and you get a point. In this game, you can tackle and do all manner of mean stuff to your opponents so that they cannot get the ball. I would love to tackle someone in that game. So what kind of content can we make from this game? Number 1 is guides. How you can effectively tackle, score, and have synergy with the team, and a lot of stuff you can do for guides on this content. Maybe you can talk about team synergy, you can talk about the map, you can talk about skills, you can talk about timing and other stuff. Number 5 game is Dying Light 2. So this game is one of my most anticipated games because Dying Light 1 was awesome. You can parkour here and there, which at the time was the most intriguing part of the game. Now, what can we do to make content on this game? Well, there's a lot. Here are some of the ideas. Number 1, you guessed it, guide. There are skill trees you can make a review on. I remember back in the first game, there's a lot of builds you can make for your character. You can make a guide on how to become the ultimate runner, or maybe the ultimate street fighter, or the ultimate crafter. And number 2 is map locations and interest points. You can talk about the map, what locations are deadly, what places you will need to visit, places to get the materials you need, and the sort. Number 3 is weapon guides. I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of crafting in this game, and that's what makes the game fun. You can make guides or reviews on the kind of weapon the game has to offer. Number 4 is monster guides. Monster guides is one of the things I'm interested to see because the game has a ton of zombies, and because of this, there are hybrids as well. Players would want to know how to get around them and maybe anticipate their moves. And that's the episode, gamers. Do you have any additions on the games that we have mentioned on this episode? Let us know down below. Also guys, if you have a friend who wants to make content on these kinds of games but they don't know what to make content of, you can share this episode so that you can help them out. Also, we have free assets for you to use. These assets are based off of Fortnite and actually Apex Legends. Before you leave guys, please smash that like, subscribe, and gong that bell. My name is Noel guys, and anything that you need to know about video games, always remember, games on cue. See you on the next episode. Goodbye.